You are listening to my night two preview of WrestleMania 40. Tonight is the Friday Night SmackDown before WrestleMania in the WWE Hall of Fame, where, of course, Paul Heyman, among others, will be inducted 8 ways from the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And then tomorrow, April 6th and April 7th on Sunday, we will see if that man, the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes, can finish his story. We will see if Bayley, the Women's Royal Rumble match winner, can finish her story, among other great matches on potentially one of, if not one of the most important WrestleManias of all time. We saw what WrestleMania 30 did to find, the next 10 years of history in WWE, with Brock Lesnar ending The Undertaker's undefeated streak, and with Daniel Bryan knocking off Randy Orton and Batista, that triple threat match, to the height of the Yes Movement to win the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Will a similar story happen at the end of WrestleMania 40? Well, let's find out right now. If you missed yesterday's show, I previewed Night 1, WrestleMania Saturday. That link will be in the description below, along with Voltage Live, which, of course, incredibly collaborates with this podcast. My social media links are in the description below. This is Brandon Lewis, the host, the executive producer, the founder of Brand's World. I control everything when it comes to this podcast, my show, and since it is my show, let's start night two by talking about the World Heavyweight Championship match. Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre. Now, if you have not watched WrestleMania Saturday, go ahead and do so, whether you're listening to audio or video. I'm going to go ahead and give you 3 seconds to pause this video before I give my main event night one spoiler. 1, 2, and I do believe that Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins do go over The Rock and Roman Reigns on night one, which will put Seth Rollins in a great mood heading into night two, but it's going to end because Drew McIntyre was right all along. Now, Drew McIntyre did face Seth Rollins in an incredible match in Saudi Arabia at Crown Jewel for the World Heavyweight Championship. Then he faced Seth Rollins at Day 1 Monday Night Raw for the World Heavyweight Championship. And if it wasn't for Damian Priest and the Money in the Bank briefcase, which, if you recall, at that time, Drew McIntyre had joined the Judgment Day to be a part of War Games to take down that team that was Cody Rhodes. Seth Rollins was involved. Sami Zayn was involved. Jey Uso was involved. The return of the Viper, Randy Orton, as the 5th member. However, the CM Punk injury at the Royal Rumble caused WWE to shift plans, and that shift change has resulted in Drew McIntyre becoming the number one contender, becoming obsessed with CM Punk, and I do believe he will finally, even with CM Punk at ringside, calling the match with the likes of Michael Cole, Corey Graves, and if the great Pat McAfee is involved on commentary, which he absolutely should, I do think Drew McIntyre will get his moment here. I think he knocks off Seth Rollins. Drew McIntyre, who won the WWE Championship over Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 36 in a warehouse with nobody in the building, will win the World Championship here with fans. Maybe there will even be broken dreams involved here, but Seth Rollins will look past Drew McIntyre after overlooking him due to the Rock and Roman Reigns situation, because Rollins wants to take down the bloodline at all costs. I think McIntyre does become the new World Heavyweight Champion, and it could potentially set up a SummerSlam bout with Drew and Punk. I also think WWE recently announcing that Clash of the Castle is going to take place in Scotland is no coincidence. The next match on the night, I think we're going to have a street fight here between the Pride, which of course Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits, against the Final Testament, that being AOP and Karrion Kross. These two teams have been fighting for months with basically no end game in sight. It finally ends. This is a match a lot like the six-woman tag team match on night one between Bianca, Jade, Naomi, against the damage control match. This is a match where Bobby Lashley was not on WrestleMania last year because of circumstances involving one Vincent Kennedy McMahon. I think they wanted to make it up to Lashley. Admittedly, this does not feel like a WrestleMania match, but heck, it's a Philadelphia street fight. AOP is involved. The Street Profits are involved. Bobby Lashley's involved. Karrion Kross is involved. There's going to be a lot of table breaking. And at the end, I think the baby faces do go over. Then we get a match that is very personal, dates all the way back to the fall, that being the phenomenal AJ Styles. He goes one-on-one with LA Knight. Yeah. Who, if you remember last year, LA Knight was left off the entirety of the WrestleMania card. Yeah. Due to, again, one Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Yeah. And LA Knight's, stoic rise kept going for months and months until we finally got that tag team match with John Cena against Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso at Fastlane. But LA Knight only got that spot because of Jimmy and Solo taking out AJ Styles. When AJ Styles returned late in December, he targeted LA Knight. They've been in a feud ever since. They had the mini feud going into the Royal Rumble Fatal 4-Way, which also, of course, involved the champion Roman Reigns and Randy Orton. Another feud has continued with AJ Styles and LA Knight even battling outside of AJ Styles' own house. Uh, you know, I was thinking about this the other day. What people do not realize is WrestleMania 14, Stone Cold Steve Austin obviously knocked off Shawn Michaels to win the WWE Championship to become the big babyface of the company. The year before, though, Stone Cold Steve Austin was in a mid-card random match with Bret the Hitman Hart. Could this be a situation where AJ Styles and LA Knight are in a mid-card match and LA Knight burst up the card and he's in one of the main events of WrestleMania 41 next year? Absolutely, I can see it. LA Knight is a stud. He's still one of the most over people on the entire roster, and I can see that huge crowd in Lincoln Financial Field with all the signs going LA Knight, to the man LA Knight at WrestleMania 40. But at the end of the day, as I said yesterday during night one, there are so many guys at the top of the card in WWE, whether it's Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, CM Punk, Gunther, Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, etc. You name it, you name them. There are some guys as good as Randy Orton is, as good as Kevin Owens is, as good as AJ Styles is, as good as Logan Paul is. They potentially could be stuck in the mid card because of how talented the WWE roster is today. At the end of the day, I think AJ Styles will fall here. I think a BFT from LA Knight. Yeah. Solidifies the win for the megastar. Then we get to the triple threat match, which I'm very excited about. I think a lot like Gunther, Sheamus, Drew McIntyre from WrestleMania 39. This match could steal the show of the entire weekend, especially of night two. Randy Orton, Logan Paul, Kevin Owens in a triple threat match, which really started at the Royal Rumble when Kevin Owens used brass knucks on Logan Paul. He was going to win the United States Championship, a title that Logan Paul has held for 6 months. But the referee obviously caught the brass knucks on Kevin Owens' hands and disqualified him. Ever since that moment, Kevin Owens has wanted a rematch with the Maverick. But Logan Paul also cost Randy Orton the opportunity to go to WrestleMania and battle for the Worldwide Championship when he knocked Randy Orton out with brass knucks, which led to the victory by Drew McIntyre. This, of course, comes after Randy Orton RKO'd the man that is by way of Puerto Rico but resides in Cleveland, Ohio. And while Logan Paul, I think, is great, it was just 2 years ago at WrestleMania 38 where he teamed up with The Miz He took on Rey and Dominic Mysterio, and for a first time wrestler, he looked as good as anybody, Bad Bunny included, in my opinion, any celebrity that has ever just stepped foot in WWE, if that's what you want to call Logan Paul. He's certainly a social media guru, an influencer, etc. But he's always had this heel cocky side to him. He's been a wrestling fan his whole life. And once WWE, at about this time last year, when he took on Seth Rollins at WrestleMania 39, sort of unleashed this huge side of Logan Paul. He's been one of the best acts that is constantly on television. Contrary to people's beliefs, that Logan Paul may retain the United States Championship here. I don't think it's going to happen. I think this is where Kevin Owens finally gets his revenge on Logan Paul. Randy Orton will not take the pin. This could lead to even a Randy Orton or Kevin Owens heel turn if they wanted to, or just a feud between the two. A feud that I've wanted for a long time that I'm surprised that we have not really gotten yet in WWE between KO and the Viper. Next, we got Bayley and Io Sky for the Women's Championship. This, of course, occurs after Bayley won the Royal Rumble, and she learned that Io, Dakota, Kairi Sane, Asuka, everybody in Damage Control was talking behind her back for months. Bayley finally figured it out. She's targeting the champion, and like Cody Rhodes here, Bayley wants to finish her story. And listen, Cody's got his own story and his own problems, but I think Bayley does finish her story here. She knocks off Io Sky, and as I said yesterday in my night one preview, I would have liked for WWE to make this a triple threat match between Bayley, Io, and Dakota Kai. Listen, I get it. The main story here is between Bayley and Io because Io is the champion, but Io has not defended that championship a lot since she cashed in the Women's Money in the Bank at SummerSlam, which was a Bayley idea, by the way. And Dakota Kai has been a big part of Damage Control, even though she did suffer that knee injury. We know Dakota and Io held the Women's Tag Team Championships on a couple of occasions. Um, and so, with that being said, I do believe that Bayley will win here. She will defeat Io Sky. She will go over. She will finish her story. She takes out the entirety of Damage Control. Bayley finally gets her big moment. Listen, she's been involved in fatal four-way matches at WrestleMania. She's been involved in multi-man matches, tag team matches. She did not get a spot on WrestleMania 37 besides being the host. She was injured at WrestleMania 38. WrestleMania 36 was obviously the COVID WrestleMania. WrestleMania 35, she was in the tag team match with Sasha Banks. WrestleMania 34, she was on the kickoff show. WrestleMania 33, she was in a multi-fatal four-way match as the Raw Women's Champion. So even though she's had all these matches, this is her first one-on-one match at WrestleMania, and I think she will knock it out of the park and get her moment. And then night two, which I do believe the stipulation will be that Cody Rhodes will be free of the bloodline. Everybody's going to be so excited because Cody is finally going to get Roman Reigns one-on-one. People are going to think, yes, Cody Rhodes is going to finish his story. And this is where I do believe one of two options are going to potentially happen. Option number one, even if it's bloodline rules, even if it's Cody versus Roman one-on-one, Cody Rhodes can defeat Roman Reigns, finish his story, and become the undisputed WWE Universal Champion. But I do think if that happens, Damian Priest will cash in the Money in the Bank briefcase. Damian Priest will become the next big heel on the roster, and as Roman Reigns sort of disappears in the sunset, gets ready for his one-on-one match with The Rock at WrestleMania 41, which we assume will be in Minneapolis, Damian Priest now becomes the biggest heel on the roster, and it's another mountain for Cody Rhodes to climb. Because we all know about Cody Rhodes and finishing the story, right? Finishing the story for Cody has never been about defending the championship all the way around the world. It's just been about winning it. So Cody Rhodes can topple the tribal chief. He can topple the giant Roman Reigns. But you have your major star in Damian Priest, who basically will become the greatest heel in WWE history overnight if he cashes in. Though I do not think that will be the case. I think that Roman Reigns will retain the undisputed WWE Universal Championship because the visionary, the architect, Seth Rollins, who always has a plan B, will curb stomp the American Nightmare into the mat. He will cost Cody Rhodes the match and not to help his Shield brother Roman Reigns. He will do so because Cody Rhodes took the spotlight away from him. He distracted him enough to where Rollins wants the thing that was most important to him, not stopping Roman Reigns in the bloodline, but keeping that World Heavyweight Championship. And that's why Rollins will turn on Cody Rhodes. He will turn heel to end the night of WrestleMania 40. And the last shot of WrestleMania 40 will be a repeat of the shot at WrestleMania 39. And we will hear either Mike Rome or Samantha Irving say, and still your undisputed WWE Universal Champion, Roman Reigns. Which then, by the way, they can still plant the seed of the Roman Reigns and The Rock because The Rock will take the fall on night one. The Tribal Chief will not be happy. The Tribal Chief will say that The Rock is not on his level. That will lead to babyface Rock against heel Roman Reigns for the undisputed title at WrestleMania 41 Night 2 main event. That's how I believe it will go down. By the way, we could have another scenario where Damian Priest cashes in his Money in the Bank on Drew McIntyre during the World Heavyweight Championship match. And I do think this would be the perfect time for Damian Priest to cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase. It will just obviously depend on which champion Damian Priest does cash in, but I do think that Damian Priest will become world champion one of these nights here at WrestleMania. So to recap my night 2 predictions for WrestleMania 40, I have Drew McIntyre defeating Seth Rollins and becoming the World Heavyweight Champion. The Pride defeating the Final Testament in the Philadelphia Street Fight. LA Knight, defeating AJ Styles. Kevin Owens defeating Logan Paul and Randy Orton to become the new United States Champion. Bayley becomes the new Women's Champion by defeating Io Sky. But Roman Reigns retains the Undisputed Championship against Cody Rhodes due to Seth Rollins turning heel on the American Nightmare. As a bonus prediction, I do think Damian Priest on night 2 will cash in his Money in the Bank either on Drew McIntyre or if Cody Rhodes does defeat Roman Reigns and become the new world champion. With that, over the last 2 days, ladies and gentlemen, I just previewed all 13 matches on the WrestleMania 40 card. I hope you have a wonderful, glorious weekend celebrating everything about wrestling from tonight's SmackDown to the Hall of Fame to WrestleMania Night 1, WrestleMania Night 2, the Raw after WrestleMania. Like that clip from the Brand's World Podcast? If so, make sure you go down there and hit that subscribe button. While you're down there hitting the subscribe button, make sure to also hit the notification bell so you never miss another upload. And make sure you check out all the other clips from the Brand's World Podcast right here on YouTube.